Hi, I'm Tiffany. Welcome to Towering TBR. If you're new here, I am chronically ill and disabled. I read a wide variety of books, and every month I play a TBR game to help me choose what I want to read in the next month. If you haven't seen August's TBR, I will link it in the cards and in the description below, but go check that out because I'm going to spoil how August went. And don't forget to like and subscribe so you can see all of my bookish content. Last month I drew N45, a 5-star prediction. For this I read And So I Roar by Abby Daré. Check. Yay! If you want to see if it's actually a 5-star, make sure you watch my wrap-up when it comes. But I finally got a bingo! Yay! I don't think I could have gone any longer without finally getting a bingo, but there we go. For my first bingo, I am allowed to buy myself a new book, and I purchased The Dispossessed by Ursula K. Le Guin. If you're new, I have read a couple of books by Ursula K. Le Guin, absolutely love her and want to read more, and so I'm excited to add this to my ever-expanding collection. It was also on sale, so it was like everything aligned. Very excited. Next, I drew N41, a book with a subtitle. I read Dope Sick, Dealers, Doctors, and the Drug Company That Addicted America by Beth Macy. Check. I also drew I-22, a book about religions and cults. For that, I had intended to pick up The Poisonwood Bible by Barbara Kingsolver. I have not read this yet, so this is going to go on to next month's TBR. I'm rolling it over. And lastly, G59, a book by an Irish author. Again, haven't gotten to this one yet, so it's going to be rolling over as well. And I've picked out The Glorious Heresies by Lisa McInerney. All right, so I've got these two that are rolling over into September. And as you can see, I only have 3 prompts left. So this is going to be my last bingo game before I introduce my new game in October. Definitely make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss out on that. I am going to be loosely participating in Shorty September, which is hosted by Bert over at Past Storytime and Heather at Too Many Heathers. I'll link both of them and their announcement videos. But the goal is to read short books. So a couple of possibilities that I'm hoping to get to are Bluff by Danez Smith. This is their newest poetry collection, and it's only 160 pages. I also want to pick up the newest Saga, Volume 11 by Brian K. Vaughan and Fiona Staples. This is such a great, fun comic, and definitely looking forward to getting to that. And I'm also hoping to read Queen Bee by Juno Dawson. This is a prequel novella to her Majesty's Royal Coven series, which I've read the first 2 books and really, really enjoyed. If you want to participate in Shorty September but are needing some suggestions on some great short books, definitely check out my video of short book recommendations, which is linked in the cards and in the description below. I have 2 buddy reads set up for September. The first is Some Desperate Glory by Emily Tesh. I'm going to be reading this with Becca over at Read Becca. I'll link her as well. And my second buddy read is Hamra and the Jungle of Memories by Hannah Alkoff, and I'm going to be reading this with Chattie over at Chattie the Mad Chatter. I'll link her as well. That one might get pushed to October because the book is not quite out in the UK yet, so it will depend on how fast she can get the book. Okay, let's get to the rolls. Roll 1. I got 061, a book with disability rep. Okay, I have a lot of options, but I've narrowed it down to 3. And I could probably use your help because I am having such a hard time picking between these 3. So the first is Show Us Who You Are by Elle McNichol. This is a middle grade series, and I have loved Elle McNichol's books before. This is focusing on an autistic kiddo, and there is some sort of like science fiction element. I think there's like holograms of people who have passed or something. I'm not exactly sure what it is, but I loved A Kind of Spark and Kitty by the same author, and looking forward to picking up more. I also really want to pick up When Things Are Alive They Hum by Hannah Bent. I first heard this one over at Scott's channel at Gunpowder Fiction and Plot. I'll link him as well. He said that this is a really beautiful story between sisters, and one of the sisters has Down syndrome and needs a heart transplant. So this might be really sad. And the other book that I am interested in picking up which actually is a shorty, and I could fit in for Shorty September, is I'll Pray for You and Other Outrageous Things Said to Disabled People by Hannah Setzer. This is a short memoir, just an essay form of talking about the ableism that she faces. So all three sound really, really good, and I haven't been able to decide. Yeah, I would like your help. So if you have a preference on which one you'd like to hear me talk about, definitely write them down in the comments. Roll 2. B6, a book that involves time travel. So originally, when I created this prompt, I wanted to read The Ministry of Time by Kaylee Bradley, but I've heard a ton of mixed to negative things about it, and I am less excited about it. So I have two options that I think are really good. The first is All Our Wrong Todays by Ilan Mastai. This is about a guy who is living in the idealized utopia future, like basically whatever people thought in the 1950s would be the future and how technology would free people up. And basically he lives in this utopia future. But somehow he gets stuck in a dystopia, which is our actual future in 2016. And he has to try and figure out how to get back to his version. I think that this could be really good, but it also could be incredibly depressing because a lot of stuff was going down in 2016, and yeah, I'm not sure about it. The other option I have is Replay by Ken Grimwood. This is about a man who keeps living his life over and over again, but after he dies and is reborn, he is able to maintain all of those memories of what happened and basically make different choices to alter how the life turns out. I remember Emily from Books with Emily Fox, I'll link her, saying that this is one of the best Groundhog Day type trope of the genre, and I've been really excited to pick it up. So, you know what? I think I'm going to go with Replay. If she says it's the best, I want to read it. So, adding that to my TBR. And the last roll. There we go. 063, a modern classic. All right, I have two really good options for this, and both of them are shorties, so that's exciting. The first is The Trouble with Lichen by John Wyndham. I really like John Wyndham. I have read 2 of his books, 3? I have read a couple of his books and really loved them, and this is about a woman who discovers a lichen, and this lichen has some sort of like youth or beauty aging properties, and she has to kind of grapple with the moral and ethical implications of finding this and basically letting people do what they want with it. He's great with themes, and I love his writing, and so I'm very excited to pick up this. But I have also been saying for 2 months that I'm going to get to A Wizard of Earthsea. I said it's a shorty, but this is a bind-up of all 4. I would only read the first one, which is less than 200 pages. Yeah, I've really only read Ursula K. Le Guin's science fiction, and this is her fantasy, one of her fantasy series. So, like, I want to read both. They're authors that I really like, and they're both short. But you know what? I've been saying I'm going to get to this for months, and I haven't, so I am putting it on the TBR. It's official. Going to add that. And hopefully I can just get to this at a later time this year. Okay, so that is my TBR. I've got 2 books rolling over from August, which is The Glorious Heresies and The Poisonwood Bible. I'm also adding A Wizard of Earthsea, Replay, and the disability book that gets voted on. So it could be this book, it could be one of the others if you vote. What are you reading in the month of September? Are you participating in this readathon or any others? Let's have a chat down in the comments below. Thank you so much for joining me. Bye.